Adventures by Morse. Carlton E. Morse presents The Cobra King Strikes Back, featuring Captain Friday.
If you like high adventure, come with me. If you like the stealth of intrigue, come with me. If you like blood and thunder, come with me.
Two groups of people on strangely dissimilar projects have set out from San Francisco for French Indochina. By chance, they took passage on the same steamship. One party was headed by Dr. Howard Carter, archaeologist, scientist, explorer. Let him tell about his party.
It is my object on this expedition to drive deep into Cambodia and the north-central part of French Indochina in search of a lost city, a sister city of the famous Angkor. In my party, I have Professor LeBrun, medical advisor, my assistant archaeologist, Perry Mills, and my daughter Celia, who is acting as my secretary and historian for the trip. Oh, yes, likewise with us is a young Khmer student, Tok Kwan. Strangely, on the steamship, we met an old friend, Captain Bart Friday. But let Captain Friday speak for himself.
Yes, my right-hand man, Skip Turner, my secretary, Patricia Young, and I are doing a bit of a job for the French government for a change. We're transferring an international prisoner, a citizen of French Indochina, from Hawaii back to Saigon, French capital of Cochin China. By coincidence, the prisoner, Fen Lo, is of the same race as Tak Kwan, the student in Dr. Carter's party.
Yes, Captain Friday was returning the prisoner, but one night at sea, Fen Lo escaped. In the search that followed, Celia's terrified voice was heard. The searching party found her safe, but with a strange, horrifying story. Last night, the steamship landed its passengers. Dr. Carter's party is staying at the Hotel des Douanes. And now, on this hot bake-oven morning, the members are seated at an outdoor sidewalk table under the arches that mark the hotel's entrance.
My, Celia. What a complexion.
I was never so pink in my life, Professor LeBrun.
Oh, it's quite apparent that some young man has been whispering in your ear.
Don't be absurd. It's the heat.
Drink your cool mixture there and you'll feel better.
Oh, and then I'll perspire, Father.
Perspiration, my dear, is all that saves white people out in this country.
Daquan, I actually hate you. You look so cool and comfortable.
You do not need to envy anyone, Miss Celia.
There you are, Celia.
Daquan always says the nicest things, and I actually think he means them. Where's Perry, Father?
Well, I sent him over to the Hotel du Commandant de la Marine, where Captain Friday and his party are staying.
You bring them here?
Yes, Tak Kwan. I want to get this business of Fen Lo's disappearance settled so that we can start north into the interior of Cambodia at once.
But I know nothing,
You mean
Doctor.
about the disappearance of Captain Friday's Cambodian prisoner?
Yes, he's thoroughly convinced that Tak Kwan holds the key to the mystery. If he so desires, he can hold up our expedition until the matter is solved.
Oh, I doubt whether he do that.
Well, I want the thing thrashed out. I want Tak Kwan to leave Saigon with a clean slate. Otherwise, we're liable to meet trouble everywhere. We'll have enough difficulties without that.
Oh, listen.
What's that, Tak Kwan?
The high priests are passing through with their pony train.
Pony train?
Yes, small Cochin China ponies on which they carry their supplies for the monasteries.
Oh, but the bells.
The bells are fastened to the ponies' necks. Oh, look, here they come. They will pass this way.
Oh, Dad, look at the little shaggy ponies.
They carry packs large enough for camels.
Here they come. Golly, they were cute. And the monks in their black habits and their faces covered, like something out of 1,001 Nights.
They move right along in the heat of the day.
Yes, the only thing in the whole country showing any animation. Hardly a creature moving on the streets.
Well, here comes Captain Friday's party.
Uh-huh. Skip Turner and Patricia.
Captain Friday does all right for himself in the way of secretaries.
Oh, I'm crazy about her.
On the later part of the voyage over, I noticed Perry Mills seemed to feel the same way.
Oh? Why shouldn't he?
You and Patricia seem to have grown very fond of each other.
Oh, yes. I wish you were going into the interior with us. So you found the energy to walk out in this sizzling heat, Patricia.
I've got a slave driver for a boss. Where he goes, it's expected I tag along.
Morning, Miss Carter. Doctor?
Hi, Professor LeBrun.
Oh, Skip Turner in pith helmet and white ducks.
That's me. Just what the ladies ordered.
What about something cool to drink?
Oh, definitely. I'd like something with lime or mint in it.
Oh, let me get the drinks for the crowd.
We have to go to the bar at this hour.
Oh, never mind then.
Of course, everybody wants something. I'll take Skip along for company.
I'm your man.
Well, come along. Oh, by the way, Dr. Carter, may I borrow Taquan in about a half hour?
Yes, of course.
I've got a star sapphire spotted in a shop down the street. I like the stone, but not the price. I thought perhaps Taquan could talk his fellow countryman into being more reasonable.
Will you do that for the professor, Taquan?
With pleasure.
Oh, good. Oh, come along, Skip. We'll get the drinks.
Yes, sir. I saw something tall and pink and frothy. I think I'll order a quart of it.
And Captain Friday, I want this matter cleared up once and for all. I intend taking Taquan with me into the interior, so if you have any charges to file against him, will you please discuss them with me here and now and see if we can't come to some understanding. Once a thing gets into the hands of the French government out here, there'll be no end of red tape.
No, Dr. Carter, I have no charges to file against Taquan. I know in my own heart that he had something to do with the release of Fenlo, my prisoner. But I have no proof. None whatever.
Then you don't intend taking any action that will hold up my expedition?
I intend keeping Taquan under observation. Dr. Carter, will you permit me to ask Taquan one question?
Why, certainly. It's his privilege to answer or not.
Taquan.
Yes?
Taquan, is Fenlo dead?
Miss Celia has told you...
Never mind what Miss Celia told me. I'm asking you. Is Fenlo dead?
Captain Friday, I cannot answer that.
Won't you mean?
No, I cannot.
Why not?
For the same reason you cannot. I do not know.
Miss Carter.
Yes, Captain Friday?
Miss Carter, will you go over your whole story again for me?
You mean the night your prisoner escaped on the ship?
Yes, please.
Well, it was stuffy in my cabin, and I wasn't a bit sleepy, so pretty soon I slipped out of my room and down on the lower deck where I'd found a nice little corner out of the breeze and still could be quite close to the rail.
Yes, yes.
Well, I was in a shadow and awfully comfortable. Anyway, I hadn't been there very long when I must have dropped off to sleep. You know how it is with the throbbing of the engines and the swishing of the water.
And then what happened?
Well, the next thing I knew, I was wide awake. There was a dark figure standing by the rail, almost in front of me, not 10 feet away. And it was making the most blood-curdling wail.
The Khmer death chant.
Yes, Dad. He stopped for a moment, and it was very still. Then he began again, and suddenly I saw the blade of his knife in his hand. Just a flash of it in the moonlight as he raised it and struck himself with it.
Are you certain he plunged it into himself?
Oh, he must have. His knees sagged, and he had to hold himself up. That was when I screamed.
Yes. Now, think very carefully. What happened after that?
Well, he crawled up on the rail, and then for the first time, I noticed there was something lying on the deck. A duffel bag or something. He pulled it up after him, onto the rail.
Was it tied to him?
Oh, there was a rope on it, but I couldn't be sure whether it was fastened to him.
Did it seem very heavy?
Well, it must have been. He had an awful time getting it up.
And then both he and the bag plunged over the side. Is that it?
Yes, sir. Just as Father and Perry ran down the deck.
Here come drinks for everybody. First, Professor LeBrun.
We met Perry Mills, and the two of them went down to take another gander at that Star Sapphire. All right, pick your drink. There's them that likes theirs frosted, and there's them that likes them iced.
Oh, Skip, you shouldn't have brought me any more. I haven't finished this one.
Keep it. You'll need another and another and another to keep the little red devils away. Here you are, Captain.
Oh, which one for me?
Why, both of them. A green one and a yellow one.
Thanks for nothing. Taquan.
Yes?
Taquan, would you have any objections in assisting a friend to commit suicide?
If it was his will, no.
Sure you wouldn't. I know you guys. You wouldn't have any objection to doing the job yourself either if you thought you could get away with it, would you?
It would depend most certainly upon the circumstances, Mr. Skip.
There's sure a lot of queer setups in this man's country.
Have you felt it too, Skip?
Felt it. I've seen it. Look out there in the street. All them kids practically as raw as the day they was born.
Well, but that doesn't mean that they're peculiar, Skip. That's just a custom. You know, after all, man suits his character, his customs, and his mannerisms to his environment.
Well, that's okay with me. They could do all that and still keep the shirts on, couldn't they?
No, seriously, though, there is a strange atmosphere hanging over Saigon. Something secretive, something smoldering. And I'm not just talking about the mysterious East.
It isn't the port of Saigon alone, Patricia. It's the whole of Cambodia. A veil of uncertainty, the sense of danger.
How exciting.
What kind of danger, Dr. Carter?
Well, don't you remember me telling you aboard ship how legend has woven a strange story about this land? How it's supposed that hundreds of years ago some strange force visited French Indochina and drove all the inhabitants from the great cities, wiped the cultivated lands of northern Cambodia free of civilization, and then the jungles and luxuriant plant life crept swiftly in and engulfed everything that had been built by man.
And you mean to say that that strange, same force still hangs over this part of the world?
When you say something, do you mean the supernatural, Father?
It's hard for an Occidental to say, Celia. There are strange Easty forces at work here, beyond our grasp or understanding.
Oh, mostly imagination, isn't it, Doctor?
Wouldn't it be glorious to go with Dr. Carter's party? Couldn't we go? Hey, couldn't you arrange it, boss?
We are going.
What?
Hey, are you kidding, Captain?
We're going with Dr. Carter. If doubling the size of his party won't be too much inconvenience.
But Captain Friday, why on earth do you want to go into the interior of Cambodia?
Yeah, what's the idea, Chief? If I want to scramble through the brush, I'd rather go back to San Francisco and climb Mount Tamalpais. It's safer.
Shame on you, Skip. I thought you were a fire eater.
Sword swallowing's my specialty.
No, Carter, I'm serious.
Well, Captain, this is most astonishing. Taquan, what's wrong?
No.
What's the matter?
No, they must not go.
Wait, what do you mean?
I take you. I guide you many strange places. These others, they must not go.
Don't want me along, huh? Well, that's just too bad, Taquan, because I'm going.
It is for your own good, I warn you now.
Yeah? You mean we're sticking our necks out if we go?
I cannot be responsible.
Hey, Captain, I think I would like to go along on this trip. Sounds interesting.
It's all settled. Dr. Carter, I'll stand our share of the expedition expenses. I'll guarantee that there'll be no interference with your scientific work.
Why, under those conditions, I'd be delighted to have you.
Patricia, did you hear that? You're going along.
It's wonderful. Captain Friday, I'm your secretary for life.
Great.
Taquan, where are you going?
I am to meet Professor Lebrun and Mr. Perry.
But why right at this moment?
Oh, they have gone to jewelry shop. If it is better, I should be present. You please excuse my departure?
Is it all right, Captain Friday?
Yes, let him go.
Very well. We'll expect you back for lunch.
Yes, one always return at feeding hour.
You notice the way that bird looks at you?
I think he has interesting eyes.
Yeah, the eyes of a fanatic. Taquan would as soon slit your throat as look at you.
In the courtyard of the typical Saigon hotel on the coast of French Indochina sit Captain Friday, his right-hand man Skip Turner, and the famed archaeologist Dr. Howard Carter. Outside the terrace, the sun is blazing and smoldering. Within the cool shade, Captain Friday is unfolding a plot of intrigue.
Dr. Carter, there's something very, very peculiar going on in Cambodia at the present time.
You've seen something?
Well, to begin with, the French authorities almost went down on their knees to me this morning, begging me to accompany your party.
Well, that's strange.
Hey, you mean we gotta be an armed guard?
No. At least I don't think there's danger for your party, Dr. Carter. There's something else. If it was dangerous, they'd simply forbid you to go north.
Taquan seemed frightened at the idea of you joining our party, Captain.
Yes, I think I know why. I don't believe Fenlo committed suicide on the ship. I think he's reached Cochin China and is hiding out, awaiting an opportunity to connect with Taquan again.
Why do you think that, Captain?
Well, if Fenlo is alive and a friend of Taquan, it would explain why Taquan wouldn't want me on the trip.
Oh, sure. He knows we'd nab him and turn him into the French government. Oh, here come the gals.
Oh, this is much more fun.
And besides that, we'll have to get some clothes suitable for the trip.
Hey, don't you ever talk about nothing but clothes?
Well, I've already got mine, Patricia. Dad gave me a whole list of things before we left San Francisco.
Would you go sit down?
No, thank you, Dr. Carter. I'm going to look over Celia's outfits for the trip.
We'll need a lot of things to go into the interior.
You hear that, Captain?
Yes, I was afraid of that.
Father, I'm going to stay with Patricia at her hotel tonight. There's so many details to discuss. Do you mind?
Not at all, my dear.
I hope the budget will provide proper traveling equipment, boss.
I think we'll manage.
I see where this trip's going to cost you money, Captain.
Goodbye. We'll see you later.
Bye, folks.
This is Patricia's first big adventure. Well, here now, Dr. Carter. You and Skip draw your chairs up. I want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Just as I thought.
Just as you thought about what?
I knew you had something up your sleeve all along.
Well, I have. You'd better keep it up yours, too. Dr. Carter, how important is the seven-headed cobra in the lives of the people of Cambodia?
Why, it's the most sacred emblem in existence. It represents the supreme being himself to these people.
Did you ever hear of the emerald seven-headed cobra coiled on a base of pure gold?
The sacred cobra of Toprom.
What if it were stolen from the country?
Stolen? Why, what are you talking about, man? The Toprom cobra has been lost for centuries. Its existence is entirely legendary.
But supposing its existence were known to be fact, that its whereabouts were surmised, what would that mean?
Is that the truth? Are you talking facts?
Now, wait a moment. Answer my question.
The recovery of the Toprom cobra would mark a new era in the history of Cambodia. It would mean that everyone with a drop of Khmer blood in his veins would migrate back to the north. It'd mean the rebuilding of the Khmer Empire.
And why would it mean that?
Yeah, how come it's so doggone important?
The people have been waiting for this sign ever since the downfall of the empire. The seven-headed emerald cobra vanished just before the kingdom fell. At that time, one of the great priests prophesied the end of the empire and added that the Khmer people would be as scattered sands over the earth until the cobra reappeared.
So the return of the Cobra King would be the fulfillment of an ancient prophecy.
Well, come, what is it all about? Answer me, Captain. I tell you, if there's any truth in your words, we are about to witness one of the strangest transformations in a country that has ever taken place. Is it true?
The French authorities are fearfully wrought up. I'm afraid it's true.
Afraid? Afraid? Why, man, I'd give my life to see this thing happen. Why, they would sweep up this great valley one seething throng of humanity. It would be one mammoth crusade with men, women, and children turned into a maddening mass of religious frenzy.
That's just exactly what the French officials fear.
Why, these people would go into this wilderness and turn it into an habitable place overnight.
Undoubtedly, they'd try. But think of the hundreds and thousands of these people, stirred by religious fervor, who would die miserably in that wilderness.
Oh, there'll be no holding them once the news of the cobras spread about.
Yeah, the French officials know that, too. Tell me, Doctor, what would happen if the cobra was stolen?
There would be such an uprising as this world has never witnessed before. It'd make the Boxer Rebellion seem insignificant. Every foreigner in Cochin China would be cut down without mercy.
Hey, is this diamond snake, or whatever you call it, worth anything? I mean, in good round American dollars.
I know an institution in London that would pay $5 million for it.
Hey, Captain, did you say you know where this gold snake is?
I did not, but Taquan knows.
What?
Taquan knows if anybody does.
Good gosh, and here we've let him slip out of our hands.
Well, how do you figure that, Skip? We just walked down the street to a jewelry stop to meet Professor LeBrun in Perry Mills.
Yeah, but ain't he liable to make a duck for the high timber?
I have implicit faith in Taquan.
He won't run. He's known about it for a number of years. He was just waiting for the right time to reveal his secret.
But why is the present the time to strike?
Both he and Fenlo are prepared. They're well-educated. They're capable leaders. They've been groomed for this role of prophets with tremendous care by the old men, the Khmer high priests.
Hey, you're just full of information. Where'd you dig it up?
From the French intelligence service here in Saigon. They've been watching the natives for years.
Still, I don't understand, Captain. Why do they want you to go into the North Country? Why don't they send one of their own spies who knows the country and the people?
Every available man they have is known to the Khmer's priests.
Hey, careful, Captain. There's a pop-eyed Hindu rug peddler standing behind you.
Be on your way.
Look at him skitter.
Skip, I think your Hindu was a Cambodian.
Yeah, well, I'll bet he carries a knife a foot long under those rugs, whatever he is.
Go on with your story, Captain.
Well, as I say, Taquan's coming and the mysterious disappearance of Fen Lo have thrown the authorities into a panic. Came too unexpectedly. They're not prepared.
And so they want to make you the goat.
I jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah, but what are we going to do after we get up there?
Huh? Keep our eyes open, keep our ears open, see what we can see, hear what we can hear.
Is that all, Captain Friday?
Those were my instructions from the French authorities.
Captain Friday, I think I know what you have in mind. If I'm correct in my surmise, I beg you, don't do it. I beg you to remain in Saigon.
Be careful, Doctor. That little Annamite woman has passed by our table 3 times in the last 10 minutes.
Hey, you mean that cute little trick with the black umbrella?
Oh, careful, Skip, careful. Hello, here comes Professor LeBrun. Did you get your precious gem, Professor?
Yes, we did very well. Oh, Dr. Carter, will you go down to the Ling place, 2 doors the other side of the Continental Hotel terraces? You know the place.
Yes, but what's the matter?
Where's Taquan? Why didn't he return with you?
Taquan is waiting for Dr. Carter.
Waiting for me? Then I'd better hurry. Excuse me, gentlemen. I'll take no longer than necessary.
Well, what do you know about that? Hey, Captain, what kind of a shenanigan is this?
My word, Skip, what is suspicious nature?
Yeah, well, I seen you pull some smart ones before. Are you sure you ain't along on this expedition as something besides medical advisor for Dr. Carter?
Oh, come, Skip. We are all one big family now.
Yeah?
Professor LeBrun, just how much of Taquan's history do you know?
Only what he has chosen to tell me.
A very lucid explanation.
Thanks.
but not in the least satisfactory.
Oh, see here, Captain. Really, now that is most embarrassing.
Listen, Professor. There must be something up, or why all this evasiveness?
My dear Captain Friday, has it ever occurred to you that personal information given in confidence is information not to be ballyhooed about the town?
Good. That answers my question.
Most gratifying, I'm sure. Aha. Here comes Taquan himself.
But he's alone. Where's Dr. Carter?
Hey, things are beginning to move.
Taquan, where's the doctor?
I have here a message for Professor Lebrun and for Captain Friday.
Message? Message from whom?
You will read it, sir.
Yes, of course. Taquan, what does this mean?
I know not what is in message.
Lebrun, do you know anything about this?
Not having seen it.
Well, read it.
Well. It looks like Dr. Carter's in an hurry.
Hey, what's the matter? What are you talking about?
The message is from Dr. Carter. He says he's leaving immediately from Angkor Wat. The party is to follow at once in charge of Captain Friday and myself.
Gone. Dr. Carter's gone? Why?
My dear sir, I haven't the slightest idea.
Taquan, who'd he go with?
The Captain Friday was quite right. Fenlo is not dead.
Oh, dear.
Are you awake, Patricia?
Isn't it the limit? I'm so excited I can't even close my eyes. You sleepy?
Not very.
It's a shame. Me rolling and tossing and sighing after bringing you over to my hotel. Bed's nice, though, isn't it?
I didn't suppose they had beds like this out in this part of the world.
Wasn't it the most curious thing, the way your father just up and left us?
I hope Dad's all right. It'd be terrible to have anything happen to him.
That Taquan gives me a creepy feeling.
I hope Captain Friday and the Professor get on together. They're to be joint leaders of the party until we get to Angkor Wat.
Just think of it. Angkor. A place you read about in books. I never dreamed of actually seeing it.
Cambodia. The realm of the Cobra King.
And tomorrow we leave Saigon. Tomorrow. I'm certainly glad we did our shopping this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Must be beautiful to the north. Your father was telling us. Red and purple flowers, poinsettias, rhododendrons, orange and yellow lilies, cane and coconut and bananas and bamboo, and rice and cactus and creepers. Can you imagine a country like that, Celia? Oh, go on to sleep.
Huh? Oh, what'd you say, Patricia?
Go on to sleep, Celia. I was just daydreaming.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Listen.
Hmm?
I left the window open. Did you hear anything?
What are you talking about?
Didn't you hear a noise at the window?
Of course not. You're all nerves tonight, Patricia.
It isn't nerves. I heard something.
Well, what did it sound like?
I don't know. Listen.
Well, I don't hear anything. Just the usual night noises, baby crying, that sort of thing.
That isn't what I mean. There.
What was it like?
Kind of, I don't know, like the wind or rustling of paper or something.
Well, we're only one story off the street. We're liable to hear almost anything.
Keep quiet. Listen.
There. Patricia.
Sounds like steam escaping.
Hush, Patricia. Patricia, do you know what that is?
No.
Patricia, there's a cobra in this room.
Another? A snake?
Yes. Look there in the moonlight. Please don't scream.
Don't put your hand over my mouth.
You mustn't scream. You mustn't.
Oh, what's that?
Look. Watch the cobra. It's raising its body.
Oh.
The terror of Cambodia has descended upon the Carter expedition. The cobra, emblem of the ancient Khmer civilization, has raised its head in defiance against this party of invading Americans. And it wasn't until Captain Friday, his secretary Patricia, and the reckless Skip Turner joined the expedition that trouble began. You have just heard the second chapter of The Cobra King Strikes Back, a new thriller in the series of Adventures by Morse. Next week, you will hear Chapter 3 entitled The Mad King of Angkor, which will take you deeper and deeper into the jungles and into the sinister intrigue of French Indochina. Adventures by Morse. Carlton E. Morse presents The Cobra King Strikes Back, featuring Captain Friday.
If you like high adventure, come with me. If you like the stealth of intrigue, come with me. If you like blood and thunder, come with me.
Several weeks ago, two groups of Americans boarded a trans-Pacific liner for Cochin China. One party was headed by Dr. Howard Carter, archaeologist, and included his daughter Celia, Professor Ernest LeBrun, medical advisor, Perry Mills, his young assistant, and Tuck Kwan, Cambodian scholar and graduate of the University of California. Dr. Carter's party is on its way into the northern jungles of French Indochina in search of a lost sister city of the famous Angkor Thom. The second party is headed by Captain Bart Friday.
Yes, and also in my party is Skip Turner and my secretary, Patricia Young, and a young Cambodian prisoner, Fen Lo. It was my job to return this Fen Lo from Hawaii to the authorities here at Saigon, charged with murder and plotting against the French Indochina government. But we lost him aboard the ship. He escaped and vanished. I still believe that Taquan of Dr. Carter's party assisted his fellow Cambodian in his Houdini trick, but I have no proof.
Yes. Well, when the ship docked at Saigon, Captain Friday suddenly decided to join the Carter expedition into the jungles. Taquan warned him he must not, that it would be dangerous for himself, for Skip Turner, and especially for his secretary, Patricia. Then Dr. Carter disappeared out of Saigon, just whisked away, leaving a note telling Professor LeBrun and Captain Friday to organize the expedition and bring it north, and he would join the party at the ancient jungle city of Angkor Thom. The night before the expedition is to leave, the two girls, Celia and Patricia, were spending the night together. Out of the darkness and through their open window came first the ringing of bells in the city, then the sound of a chanting voice, and then the hissing of a snake as a giant cobra was tossed into the room. The snake is standing on its tail, swaying rhythmically to the weird chanting coming from the street outside the window. Then suddenly a wicked animal-like face appears at the window.
The face at the window.
He's climbing in. He's coming in.
I'm going to try to reach the door.
No, you mustn't. Don't get off the bed. The cobra's on the floor.
Oh, we can't just lie here. Is he still at the window?
He's sitting on the windowsill. A little squat man.
Go away. Go away, do you hear?
Wait, I've got a gun under my pillow.
Do you dare shoot him?
Wait and see. Go away or I'll shoot. Get out of here.
He doesn't move.
I'll count 3 and then look out.
He's moving. He's coming into the room.
Oh, there. Did you see that? Did you see him get out of the window?
Deformed. A little deformed man. Did you hit him?
No. I fired over his head.
What did he want? Why pick out our window to climb in?
I don't know. Anyway, that shot ought to rouse somebody in the hotel.
I'm going to get out of here.
Don't you dare put a foot out of this bed while that cobra's in here. He's deadly poisoned.
Patricia, what's that shooting?
Hey, boss, there's a cobra loose in our room.
Cobra? Are you certain?
Yes, Captain Friday. We saw it in the moonlight. Someone put it in through the window.
Is the door locked?
Yes.
Is the key in the lock?
No.
Good. Skip Turner's with me. He'll have it open in a jiffy. Get to work, Skip. All the rest of you people stand back. Did you hear them say there was a cobra loose in there?
Watch out when you open the door. He's a big one and he's angry.
You two girls don't move from your bed. Skip's got the door open.
Shall I try to shoot it if I see it again?
Put your gun up. You might shoot one of us. We'll take care of the snake.
All right.
I'll throw open the door now. Skip, be ready with your club. I'll use my pistol. All set. Good. Turn on the lights. Right there by the door. Good.
There he is, there in the corner.
The lights blinded him.
Hey, good shot, Chief. Right through the neck.
Shut the door, Skip. Keep that crowd out of here.
Oh, gee, boss, some excitement.
You girls all right?
Oh, now that I'm over my scare. But talk about your nerve. I'll have to hand it to Patricia.
Well, I'm so scared I can't keep my teeth from chattering.
Hey, what did you shoot at, Patricia? Was it just to rouse us?
No, there was somebody in the window.
Man?
A little deformed man.
Did you hit him?
No, I shot through the window over his head.
Oh, shouldn't have done that. You should have let him have it.
I couldn't shoot a man.
Well, he had it coming. Besides, you'll get a reputation for being a bad shot.
I just couldn't do it.
Hey, Chief, what about this snake?
Bring him over here, Skip. Let's see what he looks like.
Oh, I never saw a deader snake. He practically shot his head off.
Hey, look at here. There's a paper tied to his tail.
A message?
Well, something like that. Here, take a look.
Written in French.
Yeah? Well, that don't do us no good.
Here, may I see it? Oh, Captain Friday, it's a warning.
What does it say?
Well, as near as I can translate, it says that this snake is an envoy from the great Cobra King, and that he brings a warning that it'll be fatal for Captain Friday, his secretary, or Skip Turner to enter the realm of the Cobra King.
Fatal, huh? Fatal for this Cobra King guy, maybe. Hey, who is he, anyhow?
There's no such person, Skip. He's the mythological founder of the Khmer civilization. The people who built Angkor and the other cities lost in the jungle to the north.
Well, there was no mythological king that sent that note on the tail of a cobra.
Yeah, that's true. Patricia, I think I'll ship you back to the United States tomorrow. There's a ship leaving for Singapore and Hong Kong early in the afternoon.
Oh, boss, you can't.
Skip and I have got to go through with this mission. We've got to go north with the Carter expedition. But I can't endanger your life. This one night's experience should be enough.
I can go any place that Celia can. I won't be sent home.
But Celia isn't in danger. Her father's party seems to be wanted in the interior. I'm horning in on this at the French government's request. Somebody doesn't want me and Skip. I'll be on the spot all the time. That's the only reason you can't go.
I'm not going back to San Francisco without you and Skip, boss. That's final.
We got a secretary as stubborn as she is cute, looks like, Chief.
Think it over.
I've done my thinking. If it's good enough for my boss, it's good enough for me.
Well, we'll take you as far as Angkor Thom. We make that part of the trip by automobile. That ought to be safe enough.
When do we leave?
We get out of here as fast as Professor Lebrun and I can get things organized.
Well, after this experience, I'm not as fond of Saigon as I was.
We'll be on our way before dawn.
The trip by car from Saigon to Angkor Thom took from 3 o'clock in the morning until mid-afternoon, through groves filled with wild monkeys, and then up into higher country, where the brilliant feathered parrots and parakeets and other tropical winged creatures filled the eye with color and the ears with horrible screeches and squawks. And then the car swooped down into the low country, the swampland, hot, humid, fetid, where the water was scummed over and stank of dead things. The only living thing heard on this part of the trip was, yes, one single mockingbird. And then slowly the road swept upward. It was still hot, but there was the coolness of altitude in the air as the car came up the tangled jungle plateau. And at 3 in the afternoon, they came to Angkor Wat, the great temple about which the ancient city was built. They went to the only hotel in the place. Dr. Carter had not yet arrived.
But Professor Lebrun, Father said we were to meet him here at Angkor Thom, and he isn't here. He just disappeared.
Oh, don't worry about him, Celia. Dr. Carter's been taking care of himself for a long time now.
This is such a desperate, secretive country. It gives me the shivers just to stand out here in the open this way.
Shivers in this kind of weather. Look at the heat waves quivering about the pinnacles of old Angkor Wat.
Angkor Wat. It's the most awe-inspiring temple I've ever seen. It reminds me of a haunted palace.
Exactly what it is. A haunted temple, centuries upon centuries old.
It's sinister. But, Professor, is there only one hotel here in Angkor Thom? Isn't there any place else Dad might be?
No, Celia. Only the one little bungalow hotel. Everyone visiting Angkor Wat stays here.
Then we can't do a thing.
Nothing but wait. Undoubtedly, we'll hear from him when he's ready for us to join him.
And what's become of Taquan? He's supposed to be our guide. And yet he left us the minute we arrived, vanished as completely as Dad.
You are a prized little trouble finder, aren't you, Celia?
Well, it's so different than I thought it would be. I thought we'd all camp together and be good friends. But Dad disappears, Taquan's deserted us.
Yes. And here we are, scattered all over the map of Cambodia.
And worse than that, everything is wrapped up in mystery and warnings and threats and danger signs.
Here's young Perry Mills now. Hello, Perry. At least our assistant archaeologist is still with us.
He's as worried as I am. Did you find out anything, Perry?
Oh, Celia. Professor Lebrun, I've made inquiries at the hotel and from everybody I could get hold of. And as far as I can find out, Dr. Carter has never arrived here.
Oh, is that so, Mills?
Oh, look here, Professor Lebrun. Why be so doggone supercilious? If Dr. Carter's in danger, I want to know it. We'll go back to Saigon as fast as we can and demand a government search for him.
And tell me, how would you get back to Saigon, even if you wanted to go? The motor cars that brought us are probably halfway back there by now.
I'd forgotten that. But look, we can't just stand around.
Oh, be reasonable, Perry. Dr. Carter said he would meet us here in Angkor. He didn't say he'd be here the moment we arrived. Ah, look. The sun's just going down behind the temple.
Massive thing, isn't it? Reminds me of the pyramids. Has that same mountain-like grandeur.
I've never seen the pyramids, but its general artistic ensemble is much more striking than even the Taj Mahal.
Oh, look, there goes the sun. See, the temple's turned from gold to marble color. Oh, lovely. Oh, look at that great cloud of birds.
What a wonderful sight. Just as the sun sank, that great flock of white birds rose out of the forest.
One of the most vivid thing I've ever had the pleasure of seeing.
Oh, Captain Friday.
I was just talking with a French engineer at the hotel. He tells me that in spite of the fact that they had to actually chop this temple out of the wilderness, there's not the slightest sign of decay.
Incredible.
He says the carvings on the galleries are as perfect as the days they were made.
I can believe it. I can almost hear the ancient priests chanting in the galleries.
And the dancing girls. There were dancing girls, of course.
Hundreds of them. Girls with little silver bells and sparkling tiaras. Canopies of jasper, floors of silver. Beautiful priestesses with strings of rubies about their white throats.
Oh, listen. Well, why doesn't someone say something? It makes the cold chills run up and down my back just standing here.
It affects us all the same way, Celia. It's the past, casting its spell.
Cambodians are afraid of that feeling. They think it's the spell of the Cobra King. They think it's a warning for them to keep out of this part of Cambodia. They link it with the force that originally drove the Khmers out of Angkor and the other great lost cities.
Honestly, did the Khmers just drop everything and leave their cities?
They left everything, Celia. But not until they'd buried all their precious jewels and sacred ornaments.
And is the sacred seven-headed cobra of emerald buried in one of these cities?
Shh, Celia, not so loud.
Hiya. Hi, Chief.
Ah, Skip person, in person.
Patricia's with him. I wonder if they found anything.
Oh, undoubtedly Skipper's trade a clue.
Hi, boss. We discovered something.
What did I tell you?
Boss, Skip and I ran onto the queerest old Englishman you ever saw. It's down there on the edge of the woods all by himself.
An hermit, eh?
Well, I didn't ask him. But he had a long white beard and watery eyes and long skinny hands.
Yes, you've nosed out an hermit, all right.
So he's a hermit.
What about him?
Got a bunch of information out of him.
Information about what?
Dr. Carter.
About Dad?
Really?
Hey, just a minute. What did you find out, Skip? Has Dr. Carter been here?
Sure. Great caravan came through last night. Went through like a train of cars.
They left us behind. Father must be a prisoner.
Dr. Carter vanished from Saigon, but promised to meet the rest of his party at the ancient city of Angkor Thom, outpost of civilization on the edge of the Cochin China jungles. He wasn't there when his daughter and the others arrived, and now Skip Turner and Patricia have uncovered news of him.
Sure, I asked the hermit if he'd seen an expedition pass this way, toward the north, with a white man in it, and he seemed to know all about
The
it.
funniest expression came into his eyes. He said it was a great caravan and that it went by last night.
Only last night, huh? He didn't beat us here by very much.
What else did he say, Patricia?
Oh, Celia, he said it was like a parade of giant skeletons.
Oh, come now, after all.
Well, that's what he said. He said there were ghostly beings moving in and out among the shadows of the forest, and that there were great wild elephants in the caravan, and tall camels and wild ponies ridden by Khmer slaves, and there were parakeets in bamboo cages, and...
Patricia, do you know what you're talking about?
But, boss, I'm just telling you what he told me.
That's right, Captain. That's what he said. Of course, he was laying it on a little thick. It was probably just an ordinary caravan going north.
But no caravans go north from Angkor Thom. Angkor's on the edge of civilization. There's only wilderness to the north.
Well, he saw something, all right.
Are you certain he saw Dr. Carter in this caravan?
Well, he said the leader was a strange white man. I don't suppose there's very many strange white men in this neck of the woods.
Something screwy about all this.
Well, you can come down and talk with him yourself. His hut is down there under that big banyan tree.
Don't you think we should all go back to the hotel? It's getting dark and...
You're getting scared.
Well, I don't care. I don't like those long, creepy shadows. Oh, look. What's that?
Hey,
Well,
that's him. That's the bird who told us.
But he's got on a yellow robe now.
That's a Buddhist priest costume.
And he's wearing a crown covered with orchids.
Yeah, jungle's full of wild orchids.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's got a scepter, too. Or is it only a bamboo rod?
Well, let's go to the hotel.
Who do you suppose he is?
The Mad King of Angkor.
No.
What's all this nonsense, LeBrun?
Oh, don't look at me, Captain. It's none of my doing.
Just the same, you seem to know what it's all about.
Quite right.
Then perhaps you'll explain.
I should be delighted. That strange creature you see there is an Englishman, right enough. He lost his mind in the Great War, and he came out here to Cambodia as a result of some fanatical twist of the mentality.
Insane.
The French here cater to his illusions, and the natives submit to his presence out of fear that he may have some mystical claim to the throne of Angkor.
Madman.
I got my information from the French engineer. He wanders about the temples, offering up prayers to these mythical gods. And he sleeps in the shrines or wherever weariness overtakes him.
How perfectly dreadful.
The women of the native villages feed him. They say he accepts all these donations with the dignity of a monarch.
It's getting too dark to see much. Let's go back to the hotel and figure what to do next.
Yeah, and get some fodder. I'm hungry. Mighty good meals you get out here on the edge of nowhere, Chief.
A cigarette, Skip?
Mm-hmm.
Let's sit here on the steps of the hotel for a bit. Tell me that later this evening the natives are going to hold a torch dance on the elephant terrace at the front of the temple. Might be interesting.
Yeah? You don't say. Some of these Hindu girls, snake dancers?
No, afraid not, Skip. They tell me in the hotel that the native girls of Cambodia aren't much at dancing. And by the way, I hope Patricia and Celia haven't left the hotel.
No, I went to their room.
That's good. You seen LeBrun or young Mills since dinner?
Yeah, they went off together over towards the temple. Said they wanted to get a close-up view of some of the carvings.
A queer time of night to be studying carvings on a temple wall.
Well, they had flashlights. Hey, the nights here are certainly blackouts, ain't they? You'd think we was on the bottom side of a tea kettle.
Our Cambodian guide has certainly made himself scarce since we arrived here.
Tarquin? I think I caught a glimpse of him just before we went into dinner down in that grove of... what kind of trees did you call them things?
Banyans.
Oh, yeah, down in that grove of banyans.
What was he doing?
Or nothing that I could see. Just caught a glimpse of him, and then he disappeared in the shadows.
Now, look here, Skip. What do you think about this business?
Not a blooming thing. It's all wild horse meat to me. You and I start to bring a prisoner to Saigon, and he gives us the slip aboard ship. Then we arrive in Saigon, and you suddenly decide to become an explorer and drag us off up here to Angkor with Dr. Carter's party.
Yes, but I explained the reason for that. The French government's afraid of an uprising among the Cambodian natives.
Why?
Because of the supposed finding of the ancient seven-headed emerald cobra.
Oh, shucks, Chief. Ain't nobody gonna get very excited over a statue of a snake.
You don't know the fanaticism of the East, Skip. There'll be plenty of excitement if the sacred cobra is found.
You mean one certain statue?
The one and only emerald cobra.
Now, what's that got to do with us, Captain Friday?
We're representing the French government. We're here to see that there's no such uprising. If necessary, to capture this seven-headed cobra and get it out of the country.
Yeah? Some job.
A dangerous job. You heard what Dr. Carter said.
You mean about the priest following you and sticking a knife in you no matter where you went?
Yes.
That's a lot of hooey.
It's a very well-established fact.
Yeah?
It's been done before.
Well, then what did you take the job on for?
Skip, never before in my career have I let a prisoner escape. That Cambodian killer, Fen Lo, slipped through my fingers, and I don't like it.
Yeah? So that's what's eating you, huh?
I'm going to recapture that fellow, dead or alive, if I spend the rest of my life in Indochina.
Well, what makes you think you'll find him up here in this wilderness?
Two reasons. First, when Taquan brought us the message in Saigon that Dr. Carter had gone on ahead, he also said that I was right about Fen Lo not having committed suicide. Remember that?
Sure. Fen Lo's alive.
Well, that was a subtle challenge sent to me. It indicated that Taquan had been in touch with Fen Lo quite recently. It also meant that Fen Lo defied me to capture him, now that he was back on home territory.
Oh, I begin to see.
And the fact that the excitement over the possible return of the Emerald Cobra comes just at the time of the return of Taquan and Fen Lo from the United States leads me to believe that there's a very definite link between those two incidents.
Uh-huh.
So I figure that as long as I can keep within range of Taquan, I won't be very far from the center of excitement. Nor will I be far from the man I want, Fenlo.
Yeah, but what's going to prevent Taquan from beating it into the jungle and leaving us stranded here in Angkor?
That's exactly what he would do if it wasn't for the Carter party. He's got some sort of understanding with Dr. Carter and Professor Lebrun. He won't desert them. Probably he's sworn to protect them in case of an uprising. Lebrun and Carter were very good to him while he was in the United States, and people of the East are tremendously loyal to their friends.
And we're riding along as excess baggage on this friendship.
That's right. It's a most uncomfortable position to be in, Skip. Taquan won't give us any protection if he can get out of it without breaking faith with Dr. Carter and Lebrun.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we ought to take Patricia back into the woods under them conditions.
Oh, bring her along, Captain. I'll vouch for her safety.
Hey, Lebrun, how long you been sticking your ears in on this confab?
Oh, goodness, Mr. Turner. What a tremendous reserve of bellicosity you must have. Always jumping out at people.
Yeah, well, I don't think much of guys with long ears.
Delightfully fresh.
Well, you get the drift, anyhow.
Oh, without a doubt.
Never mind, Skip. What was it you said, Professor Lebrun, about my secretary?
I said bring Patricia along on the expedition. She'll be as safe as any of us.
Yeah? But what about Captain Friday here and me?
Oh, I say, Skip, you don't want me to set up a guard around you and the captain, do you?
I can take care of myself, don't you worry. That ain't the idea. What I want to know is this Taquan bird leading Captain Friday and me into a trap?
Look here. I can arrange it so that both of you will be under the same protection as the rest of us.
How?
Well, forget about this business of the French government. Forget about the seven-headed emerald cobra. Forget you ever heard of anyone by the name of Fenlo. Come along on the expedition as a couple of guests of Dr. Carter. See the sights. Enjoy yourself. Make it a first-class vacation.
My reasons for being in this part of the country seem to have traveled ahead of me.
You had your warning in that cobra incident in Saigon.
My answer is no. I'm here to get Fenlo. I don't leave without him.
You don't know what you are setting out to do, Captain Friday.
Are you trying to defend that murderer?
According to his lights, he is not a murderer. He was treated unjustly, and he struck to free himself from further injustice.
Justice is not a matter of individual idea, Lebrun. According to law, Fenlo, a prisoner, killed his captor, a French consul attaché. Therefore, Fenlo is a murderer.
He is a mighty intelligent young man, Captain Friday. He has a splendid mind. He's a natural-born leader.
You seem to know a great deal about him.
I've met him. I've seen him command men. I like him tremendously.
Well, he's still a murderer. He's a prisoner who escaped from my hands. He'll return to Saigon my prisoner, or one of us will return in a casket.
I'm sorry, Captain. There is nothing I can do for you, then.
You're not leaving us behind, Lebrun. According to the instructions of Dr. Carter's note, I'm co-leader with you on this expedition now.
Oh, no. You go along all right.
There's nothing more you could do for us. Skip and I look out for ourselves, as long as you promise protection for Patricia.
Your secretary is in absolutely no danger.
Then the matter's settled.
There's an old biblical quotation, Captain. It goes something like this. He who lives by the sword shall perish by the sword.
Yeah? Well, it's lucky swords have gone out of fashion then, ain't it?
If I didn't know you to be a pair of brave men, I'd think you the biggest lunatics out of asylums.
Hey, look yonder across that patch of woods. What are all them lights?
The dancers. There's a religious ceremony down on the Elephant Terrace.
Oh, yeah, the chief mentioned it. What kind of lights have they got?
Torches of bamboo bound in some kind of a leaf and dipped in perfumed oil.
Yeah? Any girls?
If you're thinking of the beautiful dancing girls of the ancient Khmer Empire, you've got a disillusionment ahead of you, Skip. Besides, the dancers tonight are youngsters of 12 or 13. Would you like to take a walk down and watch them?
Yeah. What do you say, Captain?
That's a good idea.
It isn't much of a walk. It's a quarter of a mile or so.
Looks further than that.
There is a path leading down through the banyan grove.
Safe to travel through the woods at night?
You have weapons, haven't you?
Of course. Now, let's go.
Here, I have a flashlight. We are quite safe. Down this way. Just keep on the path. No telling what sort of insect or crawling thing might be lurking in the grass.
Yeah, I hate crawling things.
Well, it's worth taking a chance to see these youngsters perform.
Hey, what sort of costumes do they wear?
Oh, look out. Watch your step. The pathway leads right straight ahead now. I think you'll find this very interesting.
Gosh, what a dark hole.
Oh, the trees overhanging the path.
Why don't you use the flashlight?
Careful. The path turns here.
Lebrun, what's that?
Well, I'll be a son of a gun. Elephants.
Your hands in the air, if you please.
Uh-oh. Fellow with a gun, Chief.
Don't move. You are surrounded.
Elephants, camels, ponies. Hey, what is this, a circus?
Let's see. Wasn't it the Mad King of Angkor who mentioned something about a caravan.
Look, I want an explanation.
Quiet, please. Bind these men and put them on the second elephant.
Well, spank me for a baby. Kidnapped aboard an elephant.
Taquan comes and goes like a gray phantom in a ghostly kingdom. And now Captain Friday, Professor Lebrun, and Skip Turner are the victims of the weirdest kidnapping plot ever conceived. But what's become of Perry Mills and Celia and Patricia? The fourth episode of The Cobra King Strikes Back will come to you next week and is entitled The Temple of the Gorillas. Watch for next week's colorful episode, Temple of Gorillas, brought to you in this newest series of Adventures by Morse.